What's up, guys? Back on the road again, headed to Missouri, headed to the farm. It is first week of November. I remember the 4th, I believe, yeah, 4th. Gonna get back over there this weekend and do some pre-rut hunting. I'm not exactly sure what they're doing. Based off the cameras, we're getting some bucks on their feet and in the daylight, but not really any of our giants. I've kind of had a fear all year, and I haven't really had an opportunity to walk our farm. But we had a 6-week drought in the summer. A lot of the good deer we had on camera disappeared. I don't know if it's because they went and found water sources somewhere else. First time in 5 years of having this farm I've ever seen the creek dry up, and it did. I haven't checked any of the ponds to see if there's dead deer in those, but I may later into the weekend or whatever, just if my curiosity gets the best of me. But there are a few deer still hanging around. I mean, we've got a couple of big ones that we had pictures of 3-4 weeks ago. Turtle and Tommy, which is the typical 12, and a couple other deer. Crook, which is the deer Matt originally come up here to hunt back early season when he killed Jesse, his big 8 that he killed. So we got Crook, which is a heavy 9 points. Not really impressive score wise. He's probably I think he's a 4-year-old deer. But then there's a new buck that did show up that's a wide 8. I'd like to see him in person. It looks like he's got okay mass. Pretty wide though, 18, 19 inches wide. Got a little kicker off his G2. Maybe a little point that might score for a 9. He's been really regular. I have almost 100% confidence at some point, probably within 2 days, I'm gonna see that deer in the daylight. He's been daylight on numerous cameras. He's been kind of covering the same little core area. But one of the positives we do have this year, after 5 seasons of really trying hard to get the deer back on this farm from where it had been kind of decimated before, is we haven't killed any does, and we have a lot of does hanging out this year. Getting a lot of daytime pictures of does. Got some good doe bedding on our property this year. It's finally getting full of does instead of just one doe here or there. So that's a great sign. Hoping that even though the temperatures aren't going to be great, the week we're leaving out of right now was phenomenal weather. It's supposed to warm up some next week. That doesn't really scare me. When the rut's going on, you hunt. Doesn't matter what the temperature's doing. You obviously love for it to be cold because it's more enjoyable to sit. The deer do a little bit more activity in the daylight when it's cold, it seems like, but temperature has zero to do with the actual rutting part. I haven't seen much chasing on the cameras. We've got 8 of the Moultrie cell cams out. I've seen a few bucks bumping some does around, but nothing hardcore. Mostly just bucks kind of following behind some does. So I'm hoping in the next week, I have 9 days, counting archery and the opening weekend of firearms season for Missouri. So hoping that leading up to this next couple of days that some does will start coming into heat. Our farm usually has a lot of chasing activity the week leading up to rifle season, almost traditionally. Somewhere around the 5th to the 7th on to about the 15th is usually pretty active. And my best hope for a bonus buck, a deer that we don't have on camera, or maybe one of these big bucks from earlier in the season to come back, is we're harboring all these does. Those does start getting hot. These bucks are gonna cruise and try to find a hot doe. And when they do, they're gonna stick in there for a little bit, and I need to be here. It happened 3 or 4 years ago with a 170-inch giant that we called Smokey. He disappeared all year on us. The week before rifle season, he came in there. I was with a doe nonstop. I was tagged out. Matt had the flu. We couldn't hunt him. We were getting him daylight 3 or 4 days a day, and he got killed opening day of rifle season by the neighbor. So I'm trying to prevent that from happening, give myself an opportunity to be in the tree this week. So we're gonna see what can happen. I got high hopes. You know, coming off of Kansas from killing a 152-inch stud over there with Preston, and then he followed it up 2 days later with shooting a 157-inch 8-point that was just a giant. And from that same week, I was in Montana and shot a 175-inch mule deer. So went to work for a week. I'm headed back on my 2nd week of vacation for this year, and trying to ride the hot hand. As you guys will see in the footage from Kansas, I had everything that could go wrong go wrong. On my mic messed up when the buck came in. Got no audio, didn't realize it for a little while. My GoPro fried while I was in the stand that day, my Hero 7. I didn't even have time to get another one fast enough where I was at. Preston luckily had an additional one. That's what I'm filming on now. It's his, so I've got it ready to roll. So we're back running with second angles. Got the camera issues worked out with the mic, hopefully. And the plan is to get over here tonight, get in, get our gear settled in, go in and make a sit first thing in the morning. See how that goes. If it's hot, we're seeing a lot of action, may stick around. But if not, we're gonna come out, we're gonna pull a few cell cameras from one side of the farm that's just been completely dead since they harvested, and pull a stand down. We're gonna move it to an area that's been really hot, that the wind's out of the south for the next 7 days. I don't have a stand in that spot that's really ideal for hunting a south wind. So I'm gonna move a stand close in there to be able to either get a shot at these deer that are using this, it's a mineral pit, that are using this mineral pit. The does are hitting it, the bucks are following them to it, and either get a shot at them there or get a shot at them coming to and from, or possibly be able to call them in if I see one there. So move a set up to there, as well as I've got my Millennium and Lone Wolf set up with me. Probably go into an area that we don't have any stands. It's probably a 250 yard strip by 200 yards wide that I've just never really ventured much in to put stands in because I've had such great success around it. So we may go down in there and try to slip in and do a hanging hunt one day in the middle of the day. It's a great area. I always get tons of pictures when I do put a camera in there. So a lot of options, a lot of things can happen. Biggest hope is hoping for, you know, a mature deer to show up. The deer that we're getting regular 3.5, 4.5 year old deer, I'd love for something from early in the season that was more mature, or a new buck show up.
In 10 miles,
it'd be phenomenal.
Right to State Road 336 north.
We'll see if that happens, but either way, it's gonna be a great week or more in Missouri, and hopefully get you guys some footage of another stud buck hitting the ground. We got a lot of guys in the stand this week in different states. Kansas already in Missouri with another guy. Got Matt heading to Ohio after tonight. So a lot of opportunity in the coming days for us to get some deer on the ground for you guys. So we're gonna keep pounding these miles out. Got about 4 hours to go, and we'll see y'all probably tomorrow morning in Missouri in the tree. All right, guys. So this is the move. I'm on the spinning y'all around here on the south side of our property here. Parked out in this cut soybean field, but you can see we got this big line of timber. This is our biggest block of timber on the place. It's probably 50 acre block or more, and all those bucks I saw this morning were coming out of here and going back into here to hit that hayfield that I was in. The hayfield is right here, and I was kind of more in this general direction where these tallest trees are, and the big part of the field they were running in was over here. So what it is, I've got two stands here. I've got the stand that you'll see some footage of from earlier in the week in the corner of the hayfield, and then you have this it's an older X stand that I hung in here years ago. I've hunted it quite a few times, seen some good deer out of it, and it is a phenomenal north wind stand. And we have a west to northwest wind this afternoon and all day tomorrow. It sits down in a bowl in the timber. It's not so bad windy in there. When the wind does die, because it is windy out here right now in this open, it gets really calm and quiet in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ease down here, I'm gonna slip off in this timber. I have a good trail cut to come in the back way to it. It's set up to hunt it on a north wind. That's what I set it up for, and I don't hunt it very often. But we're gonna give it a try today. It had a lot of buck pictures on it about 10 days ago on the last cold front. Neighbors have a big finger, so we'll be going in this corner. The neighbors have this little, about 10 acres of woods. We have a food plot right here behind this block of woods. There's a big bedding area right in there. And then of course those deer do bed in this block of timber as well. But we're gonna ease down in here, get set up. I wanted to go ahead and make this move midday today, because with this wind switching to a north, I could stay in the field where I was at, and that may be in the move to make. But I'm gonna give this a go for sure for this afternoon and for in the morning, and see where we go from there. I feel really good about it. I'm gonna get down in here, and once I get set up, I'm gonna put a bunch of nose down, hot doe, and bully buck out. And hopefully be able to smell these woods up good enough that something will want to come in and we can get it done. I'd love to kill a buck today or in the morning, and possibly try to fill my second buck tag when gun season opens on Saturday. It would be a heck of a weekend. So I'll be back with you guys here in a little bit. Got him. Let's go. So a little live update. Turn this around where at least got some light on the situation. We are headed in. We've called in the cavalry, Studley Budley, ready to roll. Got the neighbors here, and we're about to go in and look for this deer that I shot this afternoon. I called him the Wide 8. He come in last light, locked on a doe, and I hit him high in the shoulder, but he's pouring blood. By all accounts, we all believe he's dead, so we're gonna go see if we can find him. Well, it didn't take long. We've got him. I don't know if I'd give anybody props on the track job, but I literally pulled up 15 yards short. That's where I stopped at, right there, where he's standing. So, I mean, he was pouring blood, as you guys can see. The Sevr did a number on him. He died actually right there, but we drug him a little bit, but not nothing crazy big, but solid deer. We're gonna get him out of here. Got the cavalry here to help drag him.
That's right.
Fueled on Monster and
That's right.
killing buck deers.
Double down.
That's right.
6 years to the day. What's up?